And now I'm very pleased to introduce our speaker of the day, Jennifer Johnson, who moved here to Yakima from Olympia last October. She has been teaching in the terrain of essence for 11 years. She teaches private classes and online, and also is a creativity coach. So please welcome Jennifer.
Can you hear me? Oh, good. Oh, what a pleasure to be with you. I'm so grateful that I was asked to speak. And it's been a really warm welcome for me coming to Unity and getting to be with you. There's a lot of tangible, loving energy here. So I'm appreciating that, and thank you. Thank you, Juanita. She's going to help me with time because what I'm going to talk about is very exciting to me, and I'll sort of lose perception of time sometimes. Maybe it won't happen. I also wanted to give some gratitude for this land and the Yakima Nation, and gratitude and prayers for the Lunar New Year, which is today, January 22nd, and our Asian communities, honoring them. And also I wanted to give thanks to my teachers and the lineage of teachers, which the material I'll be sharing. I've been studying in the terrain of essence teachings for 11 years, and with my teacher Kim Lincoln, and her teachers Faisal Makadam and Hamid Ali brought this wisdom, Sufi wisdom, from the Middle East to America and started a school in the Bay Area where Kim studied for many years, at least 20 years, probably 30. So I just wanted to honor that, and that this material comes from Sufi mystical schools and mysticism, and it's applicable in all of our hearts and in any religion. And so I'm just excited to be part of the Unity Church and that concept of unity. So as we have been with Joanne so beautifully coming into stillness and presence in meditation, I just want to pause for that again, just for a moment, so we can close the eyes and taking a deeper breath, sensing the feet on the floor. So we're including the body. And this is welcoming the presence that's here, the presence of matter, material, our sacred earth, our sacred bodies, connecting, feeling the feet connected to the floor, feeling your base connected, held in your chair. So, and the weight of your body, just sensing. And I'm going to open the mind here. So we have our own minds apparently and the collective awareness. So just an invitation to open the mind, and that might be the image of the open sky for you. And thoughts may be like little clouds that go by. And so just asking the mind to be curious today. What is here? And including the heart, including the body, the soul, and the spirit. So many intelligences. I'll, I'll share first, and you're welcome to have eyes open or closed. And I'll just share a little bit about the Lataif. So in the school that I study, there are 9 latifas, and these are considered the subtle essences of the soul. And other Sufi schools talk about 5 latifas or 7, and it's okay, it's all correct. And we think of the soul as another body with several organs. And these organs produce a substance, an essence, if you will. And that substance is a fuel, and it can be transmitted between people. And it is a fuel to awaken our connection with the beloved, to awaken the divine within us. And so we all have this. It's just sometimes we forget because we have habits and patterns and conditioning and traumas and all of these other things that form a personality and identity, which is okay. It's great. We need to survive and go through life somehow. We have these structures we call me and I. And so that's welcome. Everything is welcome. It's just that there's more. So we can open to what else is here. And the 5 primary latifas are, each latifa has a color. So the 5 primary latifas are the black, the white, the red, and the green, and the yellow. And the 3 foundational latifas are the black, the white, and the red, which is what most of us experience a lot of our lives. I'll talk a little bit about the white and the black today. And then there are these 4 more hidden latifas, which are the deep blue and the light blue, the gray and the saffron. And so we can feel into each of these. We won't do that all today because there's not time, but they're all here and accessible. And sometimes they show up. Each has certain attributes, virtues, and also each has distortions or defenses. And we think of our problems as something we don't want. And however, they're signals, they're doorways. So when we're in fear, say, or physical pain, we can ask, well, what essence is here? And in some parts of the Middle East, they don't say, how are you? They say, what is your essence today? Yeah, and so with each Lataif, there is this awakening to the texture, the substance, the smell, the color, the weight, the shape. So we're using our felt sense and listening with all of our senses to what is here. And then that doorway, if we have capacity to sit and be with whatever's here, there is an alchemical actual transmutation of the problem. And we're moved actually into the virtues of that essence and able to then access the wisdom and the connection and the remembrance of our beloved. And so we remember the poems of Rumi and Kabir and Hafiz, where we can't have the rose without the thorn, and we're warming up to the problems. And this is the inclusion of everything. So one of the reasons I was drawn to unity is because of that idea that everything is welcome. And in the white Latifa, this is the foundational essence that we teach the first class, because all of the other essences are within the white. And the white is about inclusion and the integrity of that inclusion. And we feel it in our bodies as we start learning about it and opening to it. We feel more solid, we feel more whole. We're not saying no to anything within ourselves. And the enemies out there, we look inside and we say, well, where is this in me? What is the quality of this? So maybe it's anger. Is it red? Is it fiery? Is it hot? Is it energetically moving, or what's happening there? And that nothing is wrong. It's not, there's no right or wrong. So again, there's this idea of a field beyond right or wrong, and we meet there. And this is the terrain. And so the terrain is it's like a map to our soul and to our beloved, and awakening through these signals on our map. So that's a little bit about the white Latifa, and I'll speak a little bit about the black. And another reason I'm so excited about Unity Church is the light of Christ. And this will be a little more personal story that during the recession, I had no job. I was living on a boat that didn't really work very well and didn't have all the things that it needed, and I was cold, and I was very much alone. And I didn't know anything about Latifas or any of this stuff. I was studying other things, but I went into my sleeping bag on the boat, and I was just not really out in the world engaging. And I went into the black, not knowing that what I was doing. And I surrendered to it. And I just said to God, I believed in God. I said, fine, just let's be done. I'm done. And it's enough. And this is the dark time of my life. And I just waited there in the black and was silent. And then there was a presence. And I can't say where it came from. I didn't see it. It didn't have a voice that I could hear with my ears. And I knew it was Christ. And it had a light. And it was soft and strong. And from that moment on, I knew that I loved Christ, because there was this love, incredible acceptance of everything that I was. And this is where, for me, the Psalm 23 is so powerful. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. And to be able to love the beloved, to love Christ, and know that these essences are accessible, these are available to me at any time, is very reassuring. I used to think God was out there, or Jesus was out there, and to find it within was very exciting, and many of you probably already have this experience. So I'm not telling you anything new, but that for me, what the discovery was is that what I thought was a problem in the black was actually alchemized, because I was able to stay with it and surrender to God and basically give my life. And then there was this movement. And I don't know if I trusted. I don't believe I was trusting in that moment. I just waited. And then the trust has grown. And now I'm beginning to really get it. But this has taken years and a lot of patience with my teachers of putting up with me. So my teacher Kim has a wonderful quote I want to share with you. This way, or practice, if you will, is about remembering our essential self. It is not about something to be gotten, for it is always here, ever present, ready to be met. We need only to drop the veils of false beliefs, confusion, and distortion, and be willing to reveal the tiny, mighty truth and bow our heads to our hearts. One piece about the black that story, which was so sweet for me to recognize, was that when I first started class, we were learning about the black and some of the distortions, our fear, terror. We make things up in our mind. What if this happens? What if that happens? And then some of the virtues are actually peace and a softness, like a velvety softness of the black, and a point of light that comes after the surrender. And each Latifa has a prophet associated with it. The prophet associated with the black is Christ. And I was shocked. I thought, what? How could this be? I mean, I had this experience and wow. And so then when I learned in the white that the prophet was Moses, I got so excited because we know about Moses of, the reluctant leadership and all of these things. And it was very much about the humility there, which is also in the white. And so as I continued on learning, all these pieces started coming together like a tapestry, like, of course this is fitting. And eventually I was asked to begin working with people and just practicing one-on-one or in small groups. And I never charged anything. I just wanted to see what is this? And how do we drop into it? How do we find this in ourselves? And so one of the things that happened, luckily for me, was a capacity that began to build to be able to be with truth, to be able to be with what was. And I struggled with childhood traumas and addiction and running away. And my body didn't like that. It was very uncomfortable. And I didn't have the capacity to be with intensity, to be with hard emotions or physical pain. And sitting with these essences eventually gave me that capacity more and more. So often what we do is just an inquiry where we're asking, what is the quality here? And sometimes it gets very intense for people. We're not into re-traumatizing anyone. This is a gentle practice, so we titrate and we come away and we ask, well, where in the body is there peace? Or where in the space around us is there a sense of peace or spaciousness? And then we go into that and we ask there, what is the quality of that space or that peace? Is it heavy? Is it light? Does it move? And then we come back to the intensity. And little by little, sometimes it can be years of this, there's a lot more tolerance and eventually an embrace of what was a very powerful teacher, a very powerful medicine in our lives. So that's kind of a little synopsis of the way this has been working. So what I wanted to do now is to give us a little taste of that in a meditation, and I think we have maybe 10 minutes or so. So thank you for listening and sensing with me. Let's just come into our cocoons again and being comfortable in your chairs and comfortable in your bodies as much as possible. And we're listening to the body as the body is our friend. So again, there's no right or wrong, discomfort, comfort, it's all welcome. And see if we can drop down a bit. So just bowing the head to the heart. And coming down into our bellies, the base of the body, just to feel that intelligence of the instinct. And the ground holding us. And you're welcome to breathe in light from the top of your head down into the belly, and then soaking that light through the body. Light and matter getting to be together however they want to. And again, we ask the mind to open, a compassionate witnessing of what is, a curious mind, and just being awareness. And notice the sounds in the room. Any sensations in the body. Just noticing. What is here now? What is calling for your awareness, your tending? If we just stay with it, stay with our bodies, our breath. And we call in the love of the beloved into our cocoon, our imaginal realm where we're dissolving with the light. And if you notice a thought, a feeling, a sensation, what are the qualities here? What is the energy here? Is there a color? Is there a weight? Sometimes we notice a movement. And any judgments, just noticing that too. And we can ask, is it sharp? Is it heavy? And just honoring it. We can thank it for its expression. You don't have to believe it. And then you may notice a sense of peace, a sense of space, of stillness and quiet. And I invite you to call that soft light within you and the light of this new year. We don't know. We're in our don't know mind. We don't know exactly what will happen, but we have our intentions. And we're curious. We're open. And just considering trusting that light. For this new year. as you're ready, just go ahead and kind of wiggle your toes and feel that connection again with the earth below. And the weight of your body, the base, held by your chair, matter meets matter. And as you're ready, taking a longer breath, and you're welcome to yawn or stretch. And if the eyes want to open, just letting them be soft. So we're still with ourselves as we're with each other. And the space, we can kind of gently look around, orienting. Thank you so much. It's been a privilege